Welcome to the truth. As soon as I started grading my cards, I noticed something. Listen. You hear that? That can't be good. Whether you grade Pokemon cards, sport cards, or any other type of trading card, you want to protect your investment, right? But that doesn't sound much like protection. But can shaking a graded card actually damage it? I checked online and a ton of other people have been worried about the same exact thing. I also found out that graded comic books have been known to suffer real damage from shaking. This forum thread at CGC Comics from 2019, which is 10 pages long, shows pictures of several people's graded comic books damaged from shaken comic syndrome, an actual term for damage created by shaking a comic book that has been graded. That's crazy. What about trading cards? Could the tiny little space between the top of the card and the edge of the slab on the inside actually damage the card if it's shaken too much? I've got a PSA slab and a CGC slab that we're gonna test to find out the truth today. Beckett, sounds like you're clear. All right, first we need a couple specimens to run this experiment with. Cherubi, I choose you. And from CGC, I choose Meowth. To start, I'm gonna manually shake both of these cards for 15 minutes to see what happens. I took some pictures so we can compare the before and after. When I think about when a card would actually shake in real life to potentially cause it damage, I'm thinking of when it would be transported mostly, right? Like on a plane or in a truck or a moving van. And hopefully it's bubble wrapped to reduce vibration and how violently it actually shakes. But still, it may be moving back and forth here and there for a while, so I figure with 15 minutes of straight, vigorous, shake weight like movement, which I'm hoping no one would ever do unless they're the devil, then if we're in the clear here, we're probably looking good under normal circumstances. All right, let's take a look. All right, so we just finished shaking these two slabs for 15 minutes, and upon initial inspection, they look exactly the same, at least to my naked eye. But I wanna go up close, and we're gonna use the iPhone here. We're gonna go super zoom to see if there is in fact any damage at all from 15 minutes of shaking. So let's go check it out. All right, so based on this, I'm pretty confident in saying that, normal, average, everyday movement is not going to harm your graded CGC or PSA cards. But what about damage under not so normal circumstances, right? Like let's say, for example, your card gets sent out and then it gets lost and it's just going back and forth, trying to get back to the sender. And then it's getting transported and all of a sudden there's a storm and then there's like a flat tire. Maybe on the truck, the suspension goes out and it's just like super shaky, whatever. I just want to see if literally damage can be even put on these cards as we go along. So we're gonna keep upping the ante here. Here's a little foreshadowing for you. Now it's clear that I'm gonna need a little help here. I got a little tired after 15 minutes of vigorous shaking on my own.
Weak.
So to help, well, Lego. A couple years ago, my son and I got obsessed with Lego and Lego Technics, which are the sets which include motors and gears and things like that. So I found a Lego XL motor that we had, which spins at 220 RPM, and I wanted to build something that converted that rotational energy into linear energy using a few gears, axles, and connections. Okay, here we are on the final piece. It's been a lot of trial and error here. And there we go. So if my calculations are correct, if we hit this green button here, we should see some serious stuff. Okay, please work. Yes! Let's go! Look at that. Oh, yeah. Stay in school, kids. Introducing the Slab Shaker 3000. Put a graded slab in, push the button, boom. Looking at this in slow motion, we can totally see that there's definitely movement happening, which at this frame rate looks especially violent. All right, so here's the plan. We're gonna put Cherubi in for an hour, and then we're gonna put Meowth in for an hour, and then we're gonna see what happens. The PSA slabs, they have this little notch, which you might have seen before, which I don't know if that does any damage. We'll see. The CGC slabs, they're just flat all the way around, but there's still a lot of movement inside. Well, let's just try it out. Come back in an hour. All right, so we just finished with each of these cards in the Slab Shaker 3000 for 1 whole hour each. And yes, I'm in a different shirt because I didn't want that thing running overnight while the kids were asleep. That thing is loud. Anyway, upon initial impression, I think we need to take a closer look. It actually looks pretty okay. It looks fairly similar. If we go to the side by side, we can see that, you know, they look virtually the same. I'm not noticing anything completely different here, but this thing has been violently shaken for an hour. Same thing with the Meowth, looking pretty okay all the way around, which again, good sign. But I'm not sure if we should end there. Okay, so it seems like our cards in these slabs, despite the shaking, are gonna be okay. But I wanna know, can we do anything to shake this thing hard enough or fast enough such that we actually do get some damage? And to test that, we're gonna go one step further. We're gonna bring out the big guns. Okay, here in my garage, just kidding. Anyway, I am in my garage, and you gotta put some safety goggles on. We're gonna use this oscillating tool to shake our PSA slab and our CGC slab super quick, as fast as we can, safely at least, so that we can see if we can actually get any damage on these. Now, you might notice that there's some painters or masking tape on there right now. That's so that we don't damage the card, although I don't even know why we needed to do that, because we're damaging the card anyway. Anyway, I don't even know what I was thinking. Anyway, we're gonna duct tape this thing to the oscillating tool. It's gonna shake like this really fast. I'm gonna pop it on like that. We're gonna go for 10 minutes each, and then we'll go from there. So again, don't try this at home. This is all just for science. I think we're ready to go. Battery in. All right. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Oh my god. Look at that. Okay, I need to pause. First of all, my hand is like numb right now and we need more tape. Woo! We need a clamp. All right, I found a clamp. It's a little long for the job, but I think it'll work. Oh, jeez! Bruh. Let's go back to the duct tape. Okay. Woo, hot. Meowth, it's your turn. 3, 2, 1. Now, you might be wondering, well, why even go through all this trouble, right? Like, sure, maybe cards will be damaged, maybe it won't. Well, that's not really the idea here. I mean, yes, that's what we're trying to figure out, but really for me, it's like, I don't want to just like listen to somebody and assume that that's the truth. I always just want to figure out, okay, well, what is really the case here? And in some cases, you can do research and find out really good information, and a lot of times that information does not exist, and you kind of have to figure it out on your own. So that's why we're doing it this way. See what the results were. Okay, we got the final 2 inspections happening right now. Let's start with the Cherubi, as we always do. And just right off the bat, actually, let me zoom in a little bit. You can notice that there's a little bit of an indentation kind of where that bar is. And remember, this was just pounded tens of thousands of times. Sorry, Cherubi. But you can see that there is some damage there. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see some damage there in the upper corner as well. Little indentation where that corner exists. Oh, there's a little, that wasn't there before. You see that whitening on the bottom? You can also see this whitening happening right at the top there. Just, again, sort of a flattening of the card in that part where it's been hit. And the corners seem to be just the way they were before. And, ooh, some dusting. That's really weird. That wasn't there before. And that is actually in the inside now. And that's probably just because it was shaking so much, it was kind of filing it, if you will. But again, this is just totally something that wouldn't happen in real life. So Cherubi, thank you so much for dedicating yourself. Yes, it seems a card can be damaged if shaken enough, but hopefully you wouldn't ever put it under that kind of stress. Let's check out the Meowth now. Looks pretty okay. It looks pretty okay here. I do see something that I didn't see before. A little bit of a indent there. You see that whitening right there? We'll point to it right now. flip to the back and see what's going on down there. Whoa. Okay, that's definitely more damage than I've seen anywhere else so far. And that is actually, if we were to kind of scrub that, that is all inside, that dusting, that filing that's happening, right? A little bit of whitening along the edge where it was just been going back and forth. There's some interesting discoloration here on the card, almost like a stress mark, if you will, happening there. Let's go back to the top of the card. Yeah, same thing happening there too, just a lot of stress. And for this card in particular, I was noticing that when it was going around, it was kind of like going in all different directions, not just like back and forth. So yeah, some damage on this card too. There's some more dusting right there. Definitely not a PSA 10 or a CGC 9.5 anymore. So can a card in a PSA slab or a CGC slab get damaged with too much shaking? Well, I think we just proved that, yeah, it actually can. But it only happened because we were shaking it at 20,000 times per minute, which is just insane. And under normal circumstances, hopefully that would never happen. You have to be an idiot like me and strap it onto an oscillating tool in order for that to happen. So you're good. Our investments, they're fine. You have nothing to worry about. Yes, it shakes a little bit, but I prefer that because if it was tight, you might damage it on the way in. So, you know, maybe there's some leeway for a reason. There you go. That's the conclusion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. If you want me to run any other experiments, let me know below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much. Peace out. Watch the next video right here.